The evolution of games, from survival to entertainment. Games have naturally evolved as a result of the survival instincts ingrained in all species. Just as primitive humans focused on hunting as their primary task, games emerged organically when humans began competing to see who could shoot more accurately, run faster, climb better, and so on. Notably, the concept of games can also be found in various mammalian species, where they serve the purpose of training and preparing individuals for survival in adulthood. The early origins of board games. There is abundant archaeological evidence that board games originated as early as 3100 BCE. Ancient games include from Egypt, Senet from Egypt, Mancala from Egypt, chess from India, checkers, Go in China, Parcheesi from India, backgammon from Egypt and Mesopotamia, Morris from Egypt, dice from Greece, Chinese cards, and dominoes from China. One remarkable game among these is Go, which I am currently exploring. It is said that no player in the world has reached the highest level of Go, similar to the black belt in martial arts. The games mentioned above all share a fascinating similarity. They are easy to learn, yet mastering them requires years of practice. Another notable aspect is that none of these games necessitate reading skills, aside from counting the number of dots on dice. There are no written markings on any game board, allowing people from all walks of life to enjoy these games, from the rich to the poor, from royalty to farmers. The advancement of commercial board games. Since the Industrial Revolution, when middle-class families began to have leisure time and a little extra money to spend, board games started to be commercialized on a wide scale. Furthermore, with the development of an increasingly robust educational system, more complex board games emerged. Game publishers in the 19th century. One of the first successful game publishers in the United States was Milton Bradley, founded in 1860. The company quickly became a leading global game publisher, introducing games like Candyland, 1943, Yahtzee, 1956, and The Game of Life, 1960. A young boy named George S. Parker from Salem, Massachusetts, built a game called Banking and used all of his savings to publish it in 1883. The game became immensely popular, leading to the establishment of Parker Brothers in 1888. Another American game publisher named Selchow and Richter introduced the game Parcheesi from India to the United States in 1867. The Marufuku Company, founded by Fusajiro Yamauchi, came into existence in 1889. This publisher gained fame for its card game called Hanafuda, and later expanded to publish Western games for the Japanese market. Board games in the 21st century. In the 19th century, several games were created to help military commanders train their minds and experiment with strategies before engaging in real battles. Starting with Charles Roberts' Tactics in 1953, war games became increasingly popular until the 1980s, with the emergence of computer games. In 1973, Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson created a game that didn't require a game board, cards, or chess pieces. This game was called Dungeons and Dragons. By using multi-sided dice to perform a variety of actions, D&D players could embark on epic adventures guided by a player in the role of the Dungeon Master. Role-playing games then became incredibly popular among the younger generation. Board games have come a long way since their humble origins. From simple pastimes enjoyed by middle-class families to complex games that stimulate strategic thinking, the commercialization and evolution of board games have captured the imagination of people across different eras. Whether it's relishing the nostalgia of classic games or immersing oneself in the thrilling world of modern board game design, these timeless forms of entertainment continue to bring joy and foster social connections among players of all ages. The decline and resurgence of board games. In the late 21st century, board games faced a period of decline. One significant reason behind this decline was the rapid development of video game consoles and personal computers. Board game publishers were compelled to sell their assets to competitors. It all began with Milton Bradley, which was acquired by Hasbro in 1984. Hasbro went on to acquire Parker Brothers in 1991, Avalon Hill in 1998, and Wizards of the Coast, the parent company of Pokémon, in 1999. Consequently, Hasbro emerged as one of the two largest board game publishers in the United States, alongside Mattel, the publisher of popular games like Uno and Othello. It was Hasbro who acquired the intellectual property of the XCOM game series from Microprose. effectively contributing to the demise of this game series until its revival in 2011 with the release of XCOM, Enemy Unknown by Firaxis. Despite the challenges faced, board games still hold a significant position in the market today. Many board games continue to be created, and certain games have remained resilient, such as Monopoly and Scrabble. The emergence of electronic games. In the fascinating world of electronic games, there exists a rich history that traces its roots back to the 1940s and 1960s. These were the times when pioneers embarked on a journey that would revolutionize the way we engage with entertainment. Let's delve into the captivating tale of how electronic games came into existence. The year 1947 witnessed the birth of Tokyo Engineering Company, founded by Akio Morita and Masaru Ibuka. Initially, the company specialized in selling electronic products ranging from radios to televisions. Eventually, this company transformed into the globally renowned brand known as Sony. In 1954, a former Korean War veteran named David Rosen established Service Games, a company that would later be rebranded as Sega Service Games. Rosen's vision laid the foundation for a future filled with innovative gaming experiences. The first electronic game, OXO, emerged in 1952. Created by A.S. Dulles, this game was a rendition of tic-tac-toe and ran on the EDSAC computer. It formed a part of Dulles' graduation thesis at the prestigious Cambridge University. Furthermore, in 1958, Willy Higginbotham, a physicist, introduced Tennis for Two, a captivating game of table tennis played on an oscilloscope screen. In 1961, a brilliant student named Steve Russell, studying at the renowned Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, designed the first game meant to be played on personal computers. This groundbreaking creation was aptly named Space War. It's important to note that these early games were developed on computers primarily designed for serious programs like databases and scientific calculations. Raphael Baer, and visionary ahead of his time, believed in the potential of playing games on television screens. In 1966, Baer embarked on his research journey, and by 1972, he introduced the world to the first gaming system called the Magnavox Odyssey, priced at $100. This remarkable device laid the foundation for the legendary game of the system, aptly named the Odyssey. 1972 to 1976, the rise of arcade games. During this period, arcades emerged as popular entertainment centers filled with various interactive gaming machines. In 1972, the founders of Atari, Nolan Bushnell and Ted Dabney, created the game Pong, which quickly gained tremendous success. Recognizing its potential, Bushnell sold Atari to Warner Communications in 1976 for a staggering $28 million, assuming the position of chairman of the board at Atari. Meanwhile, in 1975, Bill Gates and Paul G. Allen transformed BASIC, a programming language primarily used for mainframe computers, for use on personal computers like the Altair. This groundbreaking development led to the establishment of Microsoft and their ongoing exploration of innovative programming languages. 1977 to 1979, maturing the gaming industry. In 1977, Atari introduced the Video Computer System, VCS, later renamed Atari 2600, which utilized game cartridges. Sporting an 8-bit CPU, 16-color graphics, 2-channel audio, and 128 bytes of RAM, the Atari 2600 became one of the best-selling home gaming systems, maintaining its popularity until 1990. Games were sold individually on cartridges, with the largest capacity reaching 4 kilobytes. During the same year, Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs developed the Apple II, a significant milestone in the history of computing and gaming. The year 1978 proved pivotal for arcade games. In March, Nintendo of Japan released an arcade version of Othello, while Midway unveiled the iconic arcade game Space Invaders in the United States. Space Invaders became a cultural phenomenon, causing massive truancy in the US and even a coin shortage in Japan. In 1979, a group of MIT students founded Infocom, publishing Zork Wurst, a text-based adventure game compatible with various home computer systems. Atari also released Asteroids in the same year, which became one of their top-selling games. 1980 to 1982, the high watermark. In 1980, Minoru Arakawa established Nintendo of America in New York before relocating to Seattle, Washington. However, the company's initial products failed to make a significant impact, leading to a dark and uncertain future. Simultaneously, a significant number of Atari employees, discontent with the lack of credit for their programming efforts, decided to leave the company. They formed their own game development company, Activision. The standout game of this era was Namco's PacMan, introduced in 1980, which became an iconic symbol of arcade gaming. In the same year, IBM approached Microsoft to develop a new operating system for their computers. Microsoft acquired the rights to QDOS and subsequently built MS-DOS. In 1981, renowned game designer Shigeru Miyamoto released the legendary Donkey Kong, solidifying his status as a gaming industry pioneer. The rise and fall of video games, a journey through the console wars. In the ever-evolving world of video games, the years between 1983 and 1985 proved to be a tumultuous period, marked by both triumph and adversity. This pivotal era witnessed the astounding success and subsequent downfall of gaming giant Atari, as well as the emergence of new players in the market. Let's embark on a captivating journey through the console wars and explore the emotional roller coaster that unfolded during this transformative period. The Atari company experienced a series of setbacks during this time, primarily due to the underwhelming performance of their game titles, such as Pac-Man and E.T. for the Atari VCS. On December 7, 1982, Atari shocked the industry by announcing that VCS sales would fall short of expectations. The news sent shockwaves through the market, leading to a staggering 32% drop in Atari's stock prices within a single day. By 1983, an inundation of repetitive and uninspiring games flooded the market, leading many developers to face bankruptcy. Those fortunate enough to survive this challenging landscape still bore the heavy burden of losses. Amidst this chaos, Trip Hawkins departed from Apple and founded a company that would later become known as Electronic Arts. In May of that year, they introduced Dr. J and Larry Bird Go One-on-One, a game that garnered immense popularity and became a monumental milestone in the gaming industry. In 1985, retail stores began to question the future of gaming, as they believed the era had reached its culmination. However, Nintendo defied all expectations by unveiling the Nintendo Entertainment System, NES, also known as the Famicom in Japan, sporting an 8-bit CPU, 2 KB of RAM, a resolution of 256 x 224 pixels, and the ability to display 16 colors simultaneously from a palette of 52, along with 64 sprites on the screen at once. The NES posed a significant question mark for the industry. Sega also entered the console market by launching the Sega Master System in 1986, but achieved only moderate success. Atari attempted to compete with the release of their Atari 7600 system. However, by the end of the year, Nintendo had dominantly captured 90% of the market share, thanks to its exceptional game titles like Super Mario Bros., Donkey Kong, The Legend of Zelda, and Metroid. Meanwhile, the personal computer, PC market began to display immense potential during this period. It attracted significant attention as a platform for gaming. The console war raged on between 1986 and 1991, with Nintendo maintaining its stronghold in the market. In 1989, Nintendo unveiled the Game Boy handheld console, priced at $109, which proved that there was indeed a market for portable gaming devices. Sega emerged as Nintendo's primary competitor with its 16-bit Genesis console, boasting superior specifications compared to the NES, and priced at $249.95. In 1990, Nintendo released the Super Famicom in Japan, followed by the SNES in the United States. Sega retaliated by introducing Sonic the Hedgehog to counter Nintendo's Super Mario World. Sega managed to gain an edge over Nintendo in the subsequent years. The period between 1986 and 1991 also witnessed the increasing popularity of home computers. Renowned companies such as IBM, Commodore, Tandy, Amiga, and Apple II vied for dominance in the market. Ultimately, the IBM PC emerged as the victor by the end of the decade. However, computers still faced numerous challenges in terms of graphics, sound, and operating systems. Users were required to enter commands in MS-DOS to run programs. It was not until the advent of Windows 3.0 in 1989 that a user-friendly operating system gained widespread usage. Overcoming the 640 KB barrier and introducing virtual memory to handle more complex graphics and sound, Windows 3.0 revolutionized the PC experience. In terms of software, two industry giants dominated the scene during this period: EA and Activision. The years 1992 to 1994 marked the emergence of 32-bit console systems. In 1992, Trip Hawkins' EA launched the 3DO console with a staggering price tag of $699, but failed to make a significant impact. Established players like Atari, Nintendo, and Sega announced their focus on developing the next generation of consoles. The issue of violence in video games also surfaced during this time, leading to concerns and even calls for a complete ban on violent graphical content for children. As a response, the Entertainment Software Rating Board, ESRB, was established to provide age-based ratings for games. In the midst of this, ID Software quietly released the groundbreaking game Doom 1.0 via FTP at the University of Wisconsin. While one-third of the game was available as freeware, players had to pay to access the remaining two-thirds. In 1994, Nintendo breathed new life into the 16-bit console market with Super Metroid and Donkey Kong for the SNES. Sega countered by introducing the 32X accessory for the Genesis console, priced at $179. Additionally, a new contender named Sony PlayStation entered the scene in 1994. By 2005, PlayStation had sold over 100 million units, while Sega Saturn barely managed to sell a mere 2 million units. 1995 to 1997, the emergence of 64-bit and online gaming. In this era, the gaming industry witnessed groundbreaking advancements. Sega Saturn, the first console to support online gaming through add-on modules, entered the scene with a price tag of $399. Although the concept of online gaming was still unfamiliar to many developers, it paved the way for future innovations. Sony revolutionized the gaming market with the release of the PlayStation in the United States. Priced at an affordable $299, the PlayStation offered a vast array of exclusive blockbuster titles, quickly surpassing its competitors. Meanwhile, Nintendo introduced the N64 console in Japan, adding to the excitement among gaming enthusiasts. Microsoft made significant strides by launching Windows 95 and Internet Explorer 1.0 in 1995. Within just a month, more than 7 million copies of Windows 95 were sold, marking a significant milestone. Towards the end of the year, Microsoft unveiled the first version of DirectX API, a framework aimed at enticing developers to create games for the Microsoft operating system. The Internet emerged as a potential gaming tool with the advent of Meridian 59, an online multiplayer game released by 3DO Company in 1996. Electronic Arts, EA, also joined the online gaming trend by introducing Ultima Online in 1997. This era witnessed the rapid growth of online gaming and its immense potential. 1996 witnessed Hasbro's foray into the gaming industry with the establishment of Hasbro Interactive. Their primary goal was to transform their popular board game concepts into computer games. EA contributed to the gaming landscape by launching Command & Conquer, developed by Westwood Studios, which drew inspiration from the critically acclaimed Dune 2. 1998 to 1999, embracing the new millennium. The late 1990s marked the anticipation of a new era. Sega introduced the highly successful 64-bit Dreamcast console in Japan, propelled by the release of the hit title Virtua Fighter 3. Sony, not to be outdone, announced the development of the highly anticipated PlayStation 2, generating excitement among gaming enthusiasts worldwide. Nintendo captivated players with the release of The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time for the N64. Within a month, the game sold an impressive 2.5 million copies, captivating the hearts of fans. In 1999, Microsoft made waves by announcing their upcoming console, the Xbox. Nintendo, determined to maintain their market presence, revealed their plans to release the Dolphin console, later renamed GameCube. This period was characterized by intense competition among gaming giants, each vying to redefine the gaming experience. Meanwhile, Hasbro Interactive acquired Microprose, expanding its influence in the gaming industry. In the same year, Sierra Entertainment released Half-Life, developed by Valve, garnering critical acclaim and becoming a cultural phenomenon. 2000, Sony, Sega, and the rise of The Sims. In October 2000, Sony officially launched the highly anticipated PlayStation 2, accompanied by a lineup of 1.3 million games by the year's end. The success of the PS2 can be attributed in part to its backward compatibility with PS1 games and the integration of a DVD player, elevating the gaming experience to new heights. EA made a strategic decision to withdraw support for Sega's Dreamcast, leading to the discontinuation of the console's production. Instead, EA shifted its focus towards software development, shaping the future of gaming. 2001. The birth of Xbox and GameCube, November 2001, witnessed the birth of two groundbreaking consoles. Microsoft entered the console market with the Xbox, introducing the iconic game Halo. Simultaneously, Nintendo released GameCube, accompanied by the much-loved Luigi's Mansion. Nintendo further expanded its gaming empire by launching the Game Boy Advance handheld console in the United States, selling 1 million units within 6 weeks. The release of Grand Theft Auto 3 by Rockstar for the PlayStation 2 sparked numerous debates surrounding its portrayal of violence, showcasing the impact games could have on society. Microsoft introduced Windows XP, their first operating system not reliant on DOS, rendering some PC games incompatible. After 6 years in the industry, Hasbro decided to divest its gaming division, selling Hasbro Interactive to Infogrames for a staggering $100 million. 2005. Embracing new platforms. The year 2005 marked the dawn of a new generation of consoles. Microsoft took the lead with the release of the Xbox 360, setting new standards for gaming experiences. Nintendo introduced the Nintendo DS handheld console in 2004, featuring dual screens and receiving widespread acclaim. The gaming industry embraced a Hollywood-inspired formula, favoring sequels over innovative design choices. Halo 2, Half-Life 2, Doom 3, Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, EverQuest 2, and many other iconic titles epitomize this era. Blizzard's World of Warcraft emerged as the best-selling game, closely followed by EA's beloved The Sims series, Activision's Call of Duty 2, Atari's Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, and EA's Battlefield 2 and Age of Empires 3. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Thank you for watching.